All right, so we're gonna start with announcements. I'm just gonna mute y'all so we don't get backlog. So we're second half of July, guys. I have a lot of announcements, so you might want a notebook because it's a lot. All right, so I just kind of want to quickly run through kind of the things that we got announced at Summit and all that good stuff. So number one, they're doing an Instagram promotion this rest of the month. So any person that you sign up with a challenge pack or a completion pack, make sure that all you have to do is literally get a piece of paper, write like 1 through 5, okay, and put their first name, take a picture of you with it, or like you could get on Canva if you want to put their picture in there, whatever, and put it on your Instagram stories, tag Carl, and do hashtag succeed together, hashtag contest. And you can win $100. They're picking 10 people every day for $100. So why not, right? Like, let's see how many people can get $100. So that's that. Number two, so excited, collagen boost. Like, I did not see that coming whatsoever, but I think we all can agree anything that's going to help our skin and nails is like baller. All of us that were at Summit got first dibs on it. So that's kind of a perk of going to Summit. You actually get the products right then and there. So yes, Jacqueline, I have yours. Sorry. I had to bring total side note. This is not an announcement, but we totally planned in advance, and I brought an extra little duffel bag to pack the most stuff that we bought at the core to bring home. So I have all of Jacqueline's stuff because she could not fit it in her bag. Anyways, all right, so that's on sale right now, totally available. You can add it on to any of your share carts. What we were talking about at Summit is that any share cart you send out, guys, don't just send a challenge pack. Add an extra little bonus. Like if you know somebody's getting Shakeology with Beachbody On Demand, add in Glow Juice, add on Energize, because you know it's been helpful for you in your journey, or add on a box of beach bars. And when you send the link to them, you can say, hey, I know we talked about you having issues with snacking and you're going to see great results with Shakeology, but I added on beach bars. Wasn't sure if you're interested in that, but I love them. You can totally remove it if you want. But it's just another way to expose people to different options that we have in our toolbox. So just wanted to add that in there. Number 3, brand new program called The Work, coming out this fall. Going to be perfect timing for like holiday season when people start to slack off. I'm really excited about it. I already told my corporate mentor today, I wish there was a test group for it because I still wanted to push hard to get in that. But it's an MBA trainer, so like he's hardcore, and there's definitely cursing involved in this, which I know Jack was excited about. So super excited about that. Number 4, all of you guys should have gotten an email from Beachbody today with 3 promo codes. So anybody that signs up with a challenge pack for the rest of the month, I believe, you can send them a bonus $10 off promo code they can put in checkout. Great way for you to push for Success Club, give people some value, go back to all your no's who gave you money objections and say, hey, you can get $10 extra off. Number 5, pumpkin spice Shakeology is coming back in September 3rd. And then peppermint mocha Shakeology is coming November 1st. So it's literally like every month for the rest of the year, Carl is giving us a golden ticket, and it's going to be up to you to use it. And I think we're going to talk a little bit about that in the coming weeks on our team calls. And then I know Steph's really excited about vegan beach bars are launching this winter. I don't have the exact date, but again, great option. And they're updating the Shakeology page. So Shakeology.com will now have like better resources and videos we can use. Again, all this stuff's in your back office. So if you miss what I'm saying, you can come back. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything. Number 6, I'm just saying I'm starting a hashtag France fund because we are opening in France Q2 of 2020. So I know that's far away, but that's a really big deal that we're opening in another country. And they talked a lot about not just opening in France, but also in the future coming years, Germany, Italy, Spain, and there was one other. Jacqueline will have to check me, but like that's a huge volume opportunity. And I personally took 4 years of French, so I need to get up on my French game. And I'm personally going to definitely start a France fund because
I can show you how to do it.
I want to be there for the launch. So that's something else that we'll get into at a later date. Okay, next stop. Today is the last day that you can get your summit ticket for $125. So that's $100 off what the price will normally be. I know it's very soon. You might be thinking, oh, that's 365 days away. I can wait. It will never be this cheap again. So if you didn't go to Summit and you watched us and you were like, I have major FOMO, y'all just get the ticket. Like, there is no greater momentum builder or commitment to your business than saying, I'm going to be somewhere a year from now and actually show up and go. And you guys can hear from Katie and Jacqueline tonight about that. All right, 3 more announcements. The Beachbody Activewear also launched today on Team Beachbody. So again, that's a great opportunity. You guys get 20% of commissions and team volume, and you also as coaches get 20% off. So huge opportunity. I'm going to really be sharing that a lot in the hub because we all know all of us love some good workout gear. And I know the girls at Summit got first dibs on all of it and loved it as well. Tomorrow, Morning Meltdown 100 is launching to customers. So if you have people that were giving you a hard time upgrading to coach, they can get access to Morning Meltdown tomorrow. Get all your share cards out, send them out, reconnect, and it's $20 off for the rest of the month. And then last but not least.
And hey, real quick on Morning Meltdown, make sure you download the workouts. It is letting me do it. The first 10. So if you guys want access to those between now and the launch, make sure you get them downloaded tonight because I'm almost got them wrapped up here.
Awesome. Thanks, Katie. She's traveling. That's why she's talking about downloading them. Last but not least, at next weekend, Super Weekend is here. And so for those of you guys that didn't go to Summit, that needs to be a non-negotiable. It is the quarterly event we do in your area. So you can get in your back office and search Super Weekend and find an event close to you. All the coaches from your local area will get together, and it's actually going to be run as like a coaching opportunity. So my goal for my personal self is to bring at least 2 people with me that I think would be great coaches. It's a great way for them to see what our community is like, to get a workout in with you, to understand what the business actually is without you having to do anything to share it besides, hey, let's go work out together and maybe get brunch together after, and will you just come see what this is? If you want to come to Philly, Jericho's coming. I know Steph and I are going together, so I'm really excited about that. And it's just a great opportunity for us as a team to also showcase your going to live events, which I know I don't need to say anything about because I'm going to keep my mouth shut about Summit, and I'm totally going to let Jacqueline and Katie share their thoughts on their first experience at Summit. So this was their first year there. They'd never been before. I think both of them were on the team last year, but saw us go as newer coaches. And I'm just really excited for them to kind of hype it up and help y'all commit to coming to New Orleans in 2020 with us. So maybe while Katie's getting set, Jack, you can kind of start off and share your biggest takeaways and anything you want to share from Summit.
Sure. So I tried to go through all of my notes and everything I wrote down and things like that to share, and I just have so many and so much that like I took away from it that that didn't really get done. But what I will say is I was on the team last year. Couldn't go for logistic reasons. It was the last week of school that year, so it just wasn't going to happen. But I had FOMO the entire time that I literally bought my ticket as soon as they announced it and Danielle posted that it was in Indy again. I literally bought my ticket an entire year in advance. And I will say that I wasn't sure what my expectations were going into it. I just knew that it would be awesome, and it just like blew me away from the moment I got there till the moment I left, for so many different reasons. One, I can say that it's just like a party the entire time, and it's just so much fun, no matter whether you're legitimately partying or you're listening to people talk or you're just walking around. Like environment is just amazing the entire time. Sorry, my dog's eating my dinner. But a couple things that I like did want to just that like really stuck with me is, and I think Danielle, I think you like posted this somewhere already. But one of the things that kind of stuck with me was hearing somebody use the phrase "don't dangle divorce." And she said, like, you know, like if you're in a marriage, in a relationship, and things get hard, and you're dangling divorce in front of the other person because it's getting difficult, that's just going to stop you from fixing it, whatever's going wrong. Sorry. It's not productive. And that kind of made me stop and think, because I know I have, and I feel like everybody at some point, whether it's right now or at a different point, gets stuck in your business, your relationships, and life. You get stuck with things. And in this business in particular, I feel like with coaching, I have gotten stuck over and over again lately. And that kind of was like a light bulb for me, that if things are going wrong in my marriage, I'm like, to me, I would never sit there and dangle divorce in front of him. Because like, what, like, no, we're married for a reason. Like, I chose to, like, you know, go through this life with you for a reason. That's not productive. Same thing with coaching. Like, I chose this for a reason. You guys chose this for a reason. Everyone on our team chose this for a reason. And to say that that you or me, we're gonna quit because it got hard instead of just working it out, like, that doesn't make sense. So that just like is one thing that like I haven't been able to get out of my head since we heard it, because it just, to me, like, just makes sense. And I thought it was like really powerful and a great way to like think about it. So yeah, I wanted to share that because that was just like I literally, like, my mind was blown when I heard that. I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. And I feel like a lot of, at least for me, the kinds of things that I heard people talking about, that kind of was the theme for a lot of it. When you get stuck or when things get hard, like how to move through it, and like, you know, how to talk to yourself in a positive way to get through it, or how to figure out what you need to get through it. Because, and I thought that was great because, like I said, like, I feel like we've all been there, and I totally have. And so hearing those kinds of things over and over again was really powerful for me. Because I went to a different training than Danielle did and a different training than Katie did, which was cool because we all kind of heard different things, which was neat. But in my training, that was kind of the reoccurring theme, like how to get yourself unstuck, how to continue to be positive, how to remember your why and, you know, what you want out of this and your goals, which was really awesome. And I feel like that's like literally what I needed. And I didn't necessarily, like, partially knew I needed it, but like also didn't know that I needed it that badly. So yeah, I just think that was awesome. Kind of like remember like what other like major things I like wanted to bring up.
Well, so Jack, while you're looking through notes, maybe just for like Laura being a new coach, which I'm super proud that you're here, girl, first call, share with her a little bit of the breakdown of like maybe what you did at Summit, like what things you attended besides just the trainings, to give her an idea.
Sure. So do you want me to get like a play-by-play? I don't know what would be most beneficial.
Yeah, just from your.
So from my experience, and I was the last one that got there, and I even had FOMO, even though I knew I was getting there, but I was the last one to get there, and I was like, why aren't I there already? But yeah, so on Thursday night when we got there, we went to like opening night, which was like feel like amazing is like the only word I can think of for summit. Lots of just like, you know, pump up and like recognition and just like positivity and listening to like people's stories, listening to people who have been doing it for a long time and what their like tips, advice, you know, or their stories have been. And then like the 2 full days that we were there, there was a little bit of a lot of the training, but also a lot of time all together in the stadium. And again, just listening to like amazing people talk, coaches, and also like keynotes. Rachel Hollis, yes. And Jade Simmons, oh my God, I've never heard of her before until she walked down on stage. But if you've never heard of her, look her up. She was phenomenal. Yeah, I don't even know how to describe her, but she's totally different, not like what you would think of as a motivational speaker, but she just like everything she said was just like, yes, Jade Simmons, look her up. And oh my gosh. Sorry, he was on the table. This is real life. Yes,
As you guys
player.
know,
She played the
welcome to my
piano.
house every night.
Yeah, I looked over. He was full on the table. Anyway, sorry. And then in addition to like, you know, all those things together and the trainings, we did the workouts, which were amazing. So the first day you got to pick ahead of time who you were going to work out with. So you could have done like Chris, Autumn, you know, I know Danielle did Chris, and Katie and I did Autumn. And then, which were amazing. And then the super workout on Saturday was just like so many people on the street. They like blocked off the entire street road for I don't know, maybe you know, Danielle, how long it was, but it was just like people everywhere and like the coolest thing I've ever like witnessed. Just like thousands and thousands of people on the street just working out together. And all the super trainers are there doing the workout, which is pretty cool. And then Danielle and I went to, on Friday night, they have like invitation parties. So Danielle and I went to a leadership party, which was like basically like in the parking lot, like a giant tailgate outside of the stadium, with just like, you know, all the people who worked their butt off all year to like get like, you know, high up leadership status. Some of the trainers were there. Carl was there. They had like food, drinks, games. We got some awesome bracelets made with our team names in it. Yes, Donald was there. Yeah, it was just awesome. There was there was just like lots of things going on, and it was like the most exhausting and the most exciting thing ever. Yeah, I don't know, Katie, if you want to jump in on anything I missed.
No, exhausting, yes. I am a person who like does not function well on less than 8 hours of sleep, I would say. So, you know, it's the way I try to explain it. It's like my mom, when I talked to her yesterday, it's like your normal conference. You have your general sessions and you have your breakout, but everybody gets up to work out at 6 a.m. too. So definitely exhausting. The energy's super high because everybody is, I mean, A, everybody's super excited to be there, but B, I mean, just the energy from everybody constantly in a state of motion with everything is great. You know, at all of the general sessions, they constantly have announcements, so that helps keep things super high energy too, because every time you're doing a general session, you're getting a new, at least one announcement. So everybody's super excited and pumped about those.
Yeah, so Katie, maybe you want to share like your biggest takeaways from Summit, kind of what you expected, if you want to go through that, and maybe if Jack has anything she remembers.
Okay. My video is going to drop off because I have a lot of notes on my phone because I didn't take my notebook to some of the stuff. But I can hit on some of the quick things from my notebook. And so I was in what I'll call, it was business accelerator training. So everybody diamond and below was in there. They had 2 rooms of it. Kimmy and I were able to be in the same one. So one of the big notes I wrote down, and we talk about it, is to be real and relatable, right? Like, it doesn't matter what you post or anything like that. Is you've just got to be real and relatable. But at the same time, like when you're posting, it's not that we're trying to. Our post doesn't need to be for everybody. Our post needs to be for the one person we're trying to talk to. So, think about the one person that you're trying to talk to, whether that was who you were before and some of those characteristics. And by before means, when you were starting your fitness journey and the way you felt and those types of things. But, don't try to put them up for the masses, put them up for one. Speak from your heart to that one person. So here's a great thing. I don't even remember who it was that was talking, but they said people don't sign up because of what you're doing, but they sign up why you're doing it. And they don't sign up, because of the way you eat spinach, or because of the way you do your shake, or, oh my gosh, you lift weights the same way I do, or have the same weights. They work with you and want you to be your coach because of why you're doing it. So just to remember that piece. And then the other one, which, one of the things for me that was really, it was really basic, right? Like, they took a lot of the fluff out of everything. So it was, at the end of the day, like from a posting standpoint and everything, all people know is whether you do it or not. And that means just whether you show up or whether you don't. And when you don't, they notice, but when you do consistently, they notice as well. So, just kind of make sure that you are being consistent and showing up, and then make sure you're sharing the little blessings, because those are the things that are relatable to everybody. I think this was not the Pearsons. This was somebody else. But they just said, hey, the people that are super successful in this business and who have multi whatever income, that's not relatable. They still have to talk about the little blessings that provides them, because that is what's relatable. Having, multi 6-figure incomes from this business isn't relatable for them. And then if you can define it, you'll become it. And I know, Danielle, you've said this to me before in some of our one-on-one calls, but this was Rob and Chelsea Pearson, I think is the right names, that they said, and it really, you hear something 100 times and it really starts to hit home. I think at that point is one of the things they said is a good before and after is the secret sauce in this business is, just get a really good before and after and, use that and share that. And that's really part of your secret sauce. And then meet people where they are and work with them to where they want to go. And then the other thing was work with the working, not the willing, because everybody's willing, whether it's working the business or programs. But we're all willing to do it. We all sign up with the goal of willing, but we need to take and spend our time, look at it like the 80-20 portion is we need to be spending the majority of our time with the people working, not just those that are willing to do it. So that was some of the training. Now I'm going to jump off and go through some of my phone. So it was really one of the things, and I couldn't even tell you who it was that said this, just because I have like just a ton of quotes in my notes. So one of the quotes I had written down was, the hardest part of what we do are the stories we tell ourselves, but the activities we need to do aren't hard. So that, you know, at the end of the day, the story we tell ourselves about inviting is hard, but the actual act of inviting isn't. You know, even the most thoughtful plans won't happen step by step. Sometimes you just have to figure it out. You have to want to change more than you want to stay the same. If anybody else wants to jump in while I'm reading through these, because I have like a billion little quotes on here.
Yeah, Jack, do you have anything?
So, one of the things that they talked about in my training that I guess like I never really thought about in terms like outside of like romantic relationships is like assigning like somebody's like love language to them. So like a challenger or a coach, figuring out what is their love language and then using that to build a connection and to like either keep them motivated to continue coaching or to keep them motivated, you know, whether they're a challenger. So like if somebody's love language is quality time, then giving them that quality time, like if they're a coach, a one-on-one call, or even like a challenger, like calling them or texting them or whatever, like, you know, on a consistent basis and like checking in with them. Or if it's like words of affirmation, recognizing them and calling them out in the team page or on your social media, things like that. And that's like something that I didn't ever like think about in, you know, my friendships or in like coaching. But that kind of makes like a lot of sense to me. And like even like gifts, like talking about like, you know, encouraging them with like little things for achieving like a milestone, whether it's like their own personal goal or if it's like a milestone in coaching. And like that just like makes total sense to me because like I know how I feel like if I get like recognized in something or if like, you know, when you hit Success Club and you get like a gift in the mail and like how excited like I get about that and how like motivating that is for me. And so that's like definitely something I feel like I want, like, is important to think about when you're working with other people, figuring out what they receive and how you can provide that to them because not everybody is the same. And maybe a little bit more of that would make the difference in somebody like being able to like have more confidence in themselves to keep going with something and or see their potential in this community or in like the business. So yeah. I thought that was cool.
All right, I found a series of notes I took during Rachel Hollis's talk that I think, like, it just really spoke to me. So she tried to go through, you know, she talked through, hey, you know, in her book, she goes through the different lies. So she was focusing her talk on truths. So the notes I took right here was truth. What she does has no effect on you. What she says, what she does, her opinion of you, it has no effect on you. We compare ourselves at every turn. We don't compare ourselves in the areas we are most secure. I don't need someone to tell me how to eat ice cream. We don't look outside ourselves for this. We look outside on the areas we feel scared or nervous, and we can look outside of ourselves until we're paralyzed with fear. That just like really spoke to me because it's like, hey, you know, we look and compare ourselves outside from that standpoint. It's like, hey, if I'm not comfortable or happy with this particular thing, then that's when we start to compare. I know I do myself to other people. Whereas, like she said, I don't need to compare myself to somebody on how to eat ice cream because I can do that like a champ all day. or I can eat candy all day and I don't need somebody to tell me that, or, all the things that, I mean, as simple as they are, you get it, right? Like, we don't have to step outside of ourselves to say, hey, here's where we're good and we're happy. And we take the areas where we're strong and are confident in ourselves and say, hey, I need to compare that part of me to Danielle or Jacqueline or Bree or Steph or Laura or anybody else. Those areas where we're most secure and confident aren't where we compare. It's the ones that we're scared, and we have that fear. And then she followed it up with, even if we all get focused in on the scroll. I mean, I know I do, but it's like, even if you have good intentions of going to look at like, oh, well, what are they doing? How, hey, maybe if I look at this, then I can get an idea about them. We start to compare everybody else's highlight reels to our very real life, whether it's the good or the bad or the ugly. I mean, let's be honest, like I told you guys straight from the start, hey, I'm tied up because I dropped my husband's phone down the air vent for our stove, and we're trying to figure out how to get it out. He's still working on that, by the way. But that comparison, when you get into that mode of comparison, it's your thief of joy, but it's also a thief of momentum. And I know I've heard the quote a million times, that comparison's the thief of joy. But when she added that momentum piece is when it was like, holy crap, that's right. Because as fast as the train's rolling down the tracks, like if I stop to look right or left or behind me to see where the other train is, I'm not looking where I was going, and I'm not still going down the hill because I'm too worried about what's around me. And I was like, that really hit. We aren't doing anything for ourselves when we are comparing and when we get into that scroll. So it's really important for us to say, hey, when we recognize when we're in that, we can stop it and say, hey, I've got to get back to work and work on those things for us. So those were a couple pieces that really jumped out at me from her talk.
I love that, Katie. I wrote down that as well. Is there anything else you guys wanted to add before we what would you tell somebody considering going to Summit next year?
Sleep as much as you can before you get there. Don't go to bed super late the night before because you haven't packed and have like the first flight out in the morning, because you're going in running on empty. And I can promise you, when you come out, you're going to be running on empty from sleep. But your personal development tank and your business tank and ideas are going to be completely full. I'm admitting it out loud, I don't drink my shake regularly, and I should, but I can tell you, like, when we were there, Danielle, we walked up to buy our tickets and she's like, oh, I'm going to get 5. And I'm like, all right, well, there must be a logic behind this. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to get 5. Like, the first day you have 1, and then the next 2 days you really do drink 2 a day, just because, if you don't, you're going to be sick on the other side of this, because you're running on so little sleep, or at least I did. And we're not really eating absolutely awful, but we're also not eating the way our bodies are used to either. So I think the combination of all of that, it sounds silly, but A, make sure you're taking care of yourself. B, it's awesome because you get lots and lots and lots of pictures to stock up on. So that's always great too.
I say go. Buy your ticket right now. Go. 2, all the notes. Do not go without a notebook. 3, make sure you have enough room in your suitcase to bring your shit home. Or make sure someone else on this team has enough room in their suitcase to bring your stuff home. If you will do shopping, and I promise you will do more than you think you will do.
Yes. So on that note, I will totally I can't remember if maybe it was Bree when we were talking about everything, because she had been before. She's like, Danielle will go with 2 bags. And I'm like, I probably should pack an extra bag. So I totally had a full weekender bag packed in my suitcase and used that as my second carry-on bag. And it was slam full, which sucked when I was running through the airport.
But the main idea is
Go.
Well, I thought those were all great tips, and it's been incredible to see you guys both commit to going and get totally different experiences out of it. And I think, if you guys take nothing else away, it's spending time with your team, right? Like Jacqueline and Katie, I don't think had ever met before, and I know Kimmy hadn't met them. So like it was that quality time where you get to just be yourself and get to know each other and have that deep rooted connection. Like I know Bree, the reason that she's still on our team, even though she'll tell you like, oh, maybe she hasn't hit all the business goals that she wants to do, it's because she shows up at all. Like this was, I think, the first event she ever couldn't go to. She's been at the last 2 summits with me. She goes to the Super Saturday. She's invested in the deep-rooted friendships and relationships of this team. Same with Steph. And so as a new coach, Laura, like get your booty to Super Weekend, because it connects you on such a deeper level to the integrity and the mission of not just this company, but of our team. Go ahead.
Can I say, Ed, real quick? I know for me, getting to my local events, I have, and getting outside of our team with all of those things as well has just been just as beneficial as that. The very first Super Saturday I went to, it was Sagi was doing his workout, and we had a girl that from the beginning, I ended up in the back of the group during the workout when you do your push-ups across the room. And I knew she was going to struggle. And I told her from the start, I'm not going to leave you. And I mean, to this day, we keep in touch with everything and about everything. And then you guys saw it at the first night of the opening session. The coach, the random late came up. So we did the Team Cup teams, and we couldn't quite get our group together enough fast enough, and I got frustrated, so I went outside of our team, and I literally met one of the coaches from our team, my Team Cup team, at opening reception, and took pictures with her because I mean literally I'd never put a face to it before. So just as important as building with our team, for me it's been making the connections outside of our team too, to really solidify the community we have within the organization, not just within our team.
It's true. It makes your world bigger, right? And we are Team Beachbody, no matter what team you're on. And I think a lot of you guys know, I mean, I have friends from Atlanta, from the West Coast, Jack saw the leadership party. There's many people that she probably didn't even know who the heck I was talking to. And I've met them at all the different events that I've gone to and have stayed in touch with. And I just wanted to share my last quote that kind of stuck with me most. This was hands down my favorite summit ever. I think that it's everything I needed. It always comes at that time, but maybe it was because it was the 5th summit I've been at, but one of the quotes that stuck with me was, fall in love with the climb more than the view at the top. And I'll be honest, I've been guilty of chasing the thing for the thing. But we had a really deep conversation about this one night. The recognition you guys get at Summit, while yes, it's amazing. I love the pictures. I'm a sucker for it. Guess how many minutes I spent on stage? Like 30 seconds for a year's worth of, really 2 years worth of work. And so while yes, you guys look to New Orleans, and yes, we're going to I'm letting you know now that my train is about to sprint the biggest sprint we've ever done as a team, and you get to decide if you want to be a part of that. But it can't be for the moment. It has to be about the journey and every single step along the way. And so I'll tell you, as we share big goals over the coming weeks and things we want to chase after, you need to know that it has to be about every single win. When I post every month at the top of the team page, drop a champagne glass every time you change a life, that's for a reason. because every single person we help matters. And every single person is represented by every single Success Club point that you have. And there's a reason that our team is in the top 1% of this company. It's not because of me. Like sometimes y'all like to celebrate me. It's not me. Yes, I show up every single day, but it's all of us cohesively together. The rank that is next to my name is Team Glow Diggers, and all of the work you guys put in, and you sticking to your journey, and you helping other people, and you hitting Success Club. That's not a me thing. That's a we thing. Okay? And so as you think about goals that you want to set for July and the rest of the year and whatever, make it about the journey, not about the moment. Because the moment goes like this. Okay, top 10 coach, Ashley Molstead. Yeah, she was up there for 5-10 minutes. And guess what? She's back to whatever rank she is and got to chase it again for the next year. So you got to find joy in the journey, y'all. I wanted to end this with some recognition because I did not do that at the beginning of the call. I wanted to shout out Steph because Steph actually made these amazing ribbons for our team. That was a big secret. And I know all the girls at Summit loved it. I have them for next year. And my goal, my personal, audacious, big, hairy, scary goal is to have 100 Glow Diggers coaches in New Orleans next year. Because why the heck not? Like, it's not going to come from me. It's going to come from we. So I'm putting it out there. Okay. I also want to shout out Bree because she got on her workout grind this morning and you were up and at 'em. I don't know if her face is frozen or she's just smiling so much. Okay, good. You're really smiling that much. Let's see what else. Claire got back to Diamond with her team this week. Audrey and Katie got back to Emerald this week. So shout out to y'all. Super proud of you. Something I learned tonight that is like I didn't even realize is our team's only 45 points away from hitting Premier and 2 new diamonds. So easy, guys. We're already over halfway there with the points, and I'll get into that more in the coming weeks. But basically, focus on helping 3 people this month. That's it. That's all I ask of you. We got ranked number 517 in the entire network as of last month, which is huge. There's no reason we can't move higher. And the last thing I wanted to share with you guys, well, 2 things, is treat your business like you're a transformative architect. This is something that Jade Simmons said, and all of the stuff I put in the team page with Summit, I'm actually going to make a unit in Glow Diggers and put all of them together so you can reference them whenever you need, even despite all the posts. I try to share as much as possible. But we're not health and fitness coaches. Like, let that sink in for a second. You help people transform their life, right? Whether it is going through a breakup, whether it is your challenger having a baby, a coach having a baby, whether it is, working to be your best on your wedding day, whether it is to lose 50 pounds. It's so much bigger than just a workout. And I want you guys to remember that. Hearing the business shared like that was like the divorce thing that Jack was saying. That was that for me. So highly recommend watching the Jade Simmons live that I posted in the team page. And then lastly, moving forward, we got asked from some of the other leaders at Summit. I've been chatting with them behind the scenes. And so starting next week, we are going to do Monday night, like Q&A happy hours, same time, same place as we do our team calls. And on Wednesday night at 8, we are going to do a joint call with Natalie Bailey, Jess Brown, Rachel, my coach, and Mackenzie. There's a few other coaches. And the reason being is that we're stronger together. So I can chat with y'all all the time, but we want to empower people to build this business. And that means that as y'all step up and hit Diamond or hitting Success Club consistently, you will be featured on these calls to share what's working for you. So I think it's an amazing opportunity for us to learn from different viewpoints of people who have hit elite with their teams, who do show up all the time and see success with their business and their challengers, and that we can all learn from each other, and they are part of our large team. And I'm hoping that Brianna can still make Wednesday nights, because I specifically asked that Vanna White stay on our announcements for our larger team call. So bigger audience, but Glow Diggers is still going to be represented strong, and we'll rotate each week with different kind of speakers. So I think it'll be a great way for you guys to have also the opportunity on Monday nights to just get on and ask questions and have an open forum as we use the start of the week to build the momentum, and then have a midweek kind of check-in. All right. So thank you for being here. I love you guys so much. I'm so proud of you guys for going to Summit, and go get your Summit ticket before it's not on sale anymore. And keep your eyes on the team page, because I know there's a lot of moving parts. And the last thing I'll say, please, please, please watch the National Wake Up Call from today. It was so good at understanding how to use Summit and all these announcements and all these things we just threw at you, and actually move your business forward. Morning Meltdown's launching tomorrow, guys. Now is the time to draw the line in the sand and go share this with as many women as possible to be that person that your coach was for you. All right. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing week, and let's go crush some glow goals. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. I'll talk to you guys later.